In the comedy world, people, I'm like still up and coming. The YouTube world is something, and because of the YouTube, people don't know. They really think I'm a YouTuber. They don't think I do comedy.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, most people don't know that we do comedy.
Is that right? But I feel like you guys have spoke about it. I don't know. Maybe I'll...
Yeah, because you follow.
Yeah.
Yes, but if you don't follow and you just catch a clip here and there, you're going to be like, oh yeah, the YouTubers. What is he doing comedy?
Yeah, right. What's more of your, like in your head, you see yourself as comedian first and YouTube is like second?
Nah,
just whatever.
I just want to do dope shit.
Yeah, okay. But you don't have like a, because I feel like some people have like, not a pride in it, but like a, like, you know, like there's dancers that do other shit, but they don't want to be called the other shit, but they're like, I'm a dancer.
That's them.
Okay.
I'm a dancer
Easy.
because I do a lot of different things. So it's the same thing with art. Like
yeah.
Because I do comedy, I'm not gonna call myself, because in Quebec, there's a lot of people that know me for comedy.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they know me just for the comedy. They know me. They don't even know me for the YouTube stuff. They're not even aware because of the language situation where a lot of people don't consume English. They consume French. So what they know me in French for is comedy. They don't know I'm a dancer. They don't know I do YouTube. So what? I'm not gonna call myself those things. I can't call myself a dancer.
Fair.
Even though if they know me as a comedian, which is something I really do in Quebec, like
yeah.
I do that on a regular basis. In French, I host comedy, I do comedy shows and stuff like that. I'm not gonna call myself a dancer. I'm still a dancer.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I got a nickname, so I know where you know me from by how you call me. If you call me Dimples, I'm like, yeah, they know me. They know me from dance. If they call me Preach, they either know me from dance or from hosting. They call me Eric Preach, they know me from the comedy.
Okay.
If they call me Mean Gene, that's whacking.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, if you call me my whole name, my government, that's my mom. Yeah. And I'm in trouble. Fuck. I fucked up.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna go and not call myself the other things that I do because people don't know me.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I am those things. I do those things. So
yeah. I get, and for you, and you don't have like a one thing you're more invested or more like into. You just
there's some things I did longer.
Okay.
Which is dancing.
Yeah. But it's not like
I am a dancer, but I do other things.
Yeah, I think that's not. I feel like I don't know if you agree with that, but I feel like now it's like you kind of have to be a multidisciplinary
100%.
artist. Like
I think you are.
Yeah.
COVID showed me that. I remember like I had a conversation with one of my fellow comedians in February of 2020, and he was telling me like, why don't you just concentrate on your stage thing? Fucking a month after, excuse me for swearing.
No, you good.
A month after COVID happened. What's up with the stage thing?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We didn't have that. They took all that away from us.
Yeah.
Especially here. So, no, being multitasking, doing a lot of things. Diversity, when we talk about diversity is good, but it's not just only the skin color. It's also in the way of thinking, but it's also in what you're doing. The more thing you're able to do, the better it is.
100%.
If you're a landlord, that's one thing. But if you're a landlord that's a handyman, you're going to save a whole lot of money.
That's very true. And I feel like it's like the more things you do, the more you enrich the things that you do. Like you're probably a way better host because you've done comedy.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I'm a way better comedian because I did host it.
Oh, so you did hosting first?
Yes. I'm a way better comedian because I've danced. A crowd's not going to scare me. I battle in front of a bunch of crowds.
Yeah.
That's a care. I've been booed before.
So when you first start, okay, all right. So I didn't know you did. So you did dancing, then you started hosting
dance events,
and then into comedy.
Then the comedy came out,
okay.
And then came after, and then yeah. So I did all those things before. When I stepped on stage, it's like, yo, you're so comfortable on stage, and I was like,
I've been here.
yeah. This is
yeah.
not new. I don't know you from comedy. No, I haven't done comedy, but I have a background of 20 years of dance before.
Right. And I guess most, from what I hear of comedians, it's like you got to do like open mics and shit and get up on stage. So I guess that's a whole layer solved that you've, like probably a lot of those beginner comedians have to work on their jokes, work on their timing, all that shit, and work on being on stage. But you've got that one done.
But that's what we do on stage. That's what we do when we're dancing, right?
True.
We get down, we lab, It's just the lingo is different. Like a lab and a get down, a lab, it's an open mic for us, for comedians, right? But the mindset is the same.
Fair.
You got to work before you apply to a competition or whatever. Before you show what you're doing, your skills, you have to work. You have to take classes. You have to get down. You have to lab. You have to session. It's all words that we have in the dancing world. That's really just an open mic. It's open for everyone.
That's
and
interesting.
you do your thing there, and after that, when you feel like you can throw down.
Yeah.
You go into a competition. You go into battle.
But how do you? Because I guess, all right, say if I'm thinking of like people I've mentored that I'm like pushing them to enter prelims or something like that, we can kind of not fake it, but like we can kind of train for it. We can session, we can cipher. I can say, all right, I'm gonna put on a song, pretend you're doing a prelim, hit me. Can you do the same in comedy?
100%. You're gonna know if your joke is good if you make it, if you do it.
Oh, like you just do it with friends? Or?
Patrice O'Neal said a good joke and a bad joke comes from the same place in your head. It comes from the same place in your head. You're gonna know if it's good or bad when you're gonna perform it.
But can you do it before you get on stage? Like, is there
an open mic is a stage?
Yeah. No, but
I'm not gonna push my students like for the people that you mentor. You're not gonna push them to do like a Red Bull BC. It's not good. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
You're not the caliber. You're not gonna tell them go do the Olympics.
Hey. All right, wait. I want to get to that because I saw you guys' video on that. I would do a Zoom.
But you're gonna start smaller, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So we're still gonna break your face. It's still gonna hurt if you bomb, right? Yeah. But it's gonna be that.
But okay? So if you've got some idea, like let's say beginner when you first start, because I'm so interested for some reason. I watch a lot of comedy, so I'm really interested in the process, even if I don't want to do comedy myself. But when you've got your ideas of your jokes and stuff and material that you're going to try at the open mic, are you throwing that out in social situations just to see if it works? Like, what's the prep?
Everybody just works differently. The way I work, I just have to get, like, I got an idea of, right? I get a feeling of what I'm gonna say and what I want, where I want to go with it. And I'm not writing it down. I just have to go to a open mic. Open mic is where I can just try stuff. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work. They know what they're in for. They know it's an open mic. Sure. I'm testing. You're going to witness some beautiful moments, and you're going to witness some jokes dying, okay? And so I just have to talk, and judging from the reaction of the crowd, sometimes I talk to the crowd about it. So I session with them. They don't know. They don't know they're part of the lab, but I just throw my thing out there. But if you have a weird face about what I said, I'm going to probe you on that. And it's just going to add more to what I'm saying. Maybe I'm going to get something like a different avenue. You know, sometimes I don't know. There's something I'm going to say and it's going to be interpreted by other people a different way. So, but I'm not aware of that. I didn't think about a certain angle or whatever.
So you're going to ask them like live, like, what did you think?
I'm just going to be on the stage. I'm going to do my stuff and watch their reaction. I don't know if you noticed, but when I host, I look at people in their face.
Yeah.
I look at you in your eyes. I look at every one of you. I make sure I make a contact. I want to take that. I take that when I do comedy as well. I do the same thing when I try my jokes. When I do my jokes as well. But when I try my jokes, I want to make sure that I know what's going on and how they react. You know, you have to understand. Laughing is one thing, but you have to understand why people laugh.
That's a really good one.
Why? Yeah. It's not because they laugh at it's good. It's people laugh because they're uncomfortable, because they're just not good. They're laughing, or they're laughing with you, or they're laughing at you. I have to decipher what kind of laugh that is.
And if that's the intention.
That's the intention. Yeah. Is that the feeling that I want? Is that the mood that I wanted out of that person? And why did it trigger another mood? Like if I want to expand something, it made you uncomfortable. Or maybe there's something to dig in there. It made them uncomfortable. Why did it make them uncomfortable? Okay, it's because where I'm performing at, I spoke about serial killer, and 2 weeks ago, there was like a serial killer that was caught in this little stuff like that I'm not aware of. And then it could create a whole other side story, a little side mission that I can unravel later on.
And I guess it's ways of also like introducing stuff. Like if you know that that's in the news, you could talk about that and then lead into your material.
Exactly. The same way that whenever you just practice, right? You're just sessioning, and then you do a move and people around you are like, ooh, why? Ooh. I didn't know it was that, like, I didn't see the illusion or what the effect that you guys saw from outside. I felt my body, of course. That's why it's good to film you.
Yes, I
right?
100% agree.
Same thing when I do comedy. Recording is one thing, but because I'm so physical and I make a lot of faces, when I used to just record my voice, people would laugh and I would not remember why they would laugh. This guy didn't see the face that I made at that point, which added something, a little level.
And it wasn't intentional, it just came out in the moment. Okay.
So when you're dancing, you're doing moves and stuff like that, boom, 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 and then the music makes you react a certain way, you make a face. It's not really in your dance, but it's part of dancing because it's the body that's expressing. So you have to take that all in accountability. So there's a lot of layers and a lot of there's a lot of compartment that happens. So that's how I proceed. Other people proceed differently. Sure. They just write the whole thing. They're gonna test that. I wrote this. I'm gonna try that, and then they just go in
like
their
the
head.
act as it
yes,
is. Right.
as is. And then like I had laughs.
But you need a little room to freestyle or maneuver around the joke.
To each their own. Okay. Some people they can't with the freestyle and stuff like that. The crowd where they don't. That's them. That's good for them. Me. It's really just a lab. I'm trying to see.
There's a lot of like similarities with dance, I find, like from what you're saying.
Because I'm from a dance background, that's my hook.
So it's like your artistic approach is already there.
100%. You said artistic, and I heard autistic, and I was like,
no.
I know, but I was like, shit, he's not wrong.
Hey, but whatever works.
Because it's weird, like it's so. But that's my hook. That's why it's the thing that I've done the most. Dance.
Yeah.
So of course, the next thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to link it to that. It's what I know the most, and if there's some links, that's the fastest way.
Work.
Yeah, it cuts out a lot of work for me to understand.
Because I feel like also the one thing, like, watching comedians, especially with crowd work, but also the way they go in and out of their material, I feel like it reminds me of battles or freestyling in a way of like, I mean, definitely, again, it's like a one approach, but like, let's say, I might have like a tutting combo, and I might not plan, okay, next is the tutting thing, but I do something that ends in a line, and I'm like, oh, well, while we're here, I've got something.
Yes,
and I feel like
also maybe that line that you did suscitate a reaction. So you just play off that reaction. Oh, okay, wait a minute. I think we got something here. So there's also the crowd reaction that happens, and it can give you an indicator that you got something.
Yeah.
So then when you're done with the crowd reaction, you go back into what you originally planned or whatever and whatnot.
So like you might have like bits or like things locked and loaded at the back that you weren't planning on doing, but somebody laughs at something about dating, and you're like, oh, you like the dating shit? Let me pull out. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna fiddle with whatever the hell they saying, but then I know I got one in the chamber. I'm ready. I know I got jokes about that I can unload. So I'm gonna see how the rest of the crowd. Okay, they're ready. All right.
I got something. Yeah. Is that sometimes like because I don't know what it. I guess, when you have your special, like the longer full thing you're trying to do, you kind of got to stick to that, especially if you're trying to get it filmed and made.
It's just more efficient if you're trying to get it filmed.
Sure. But if you're doing, I don't know, any like normal show that you're doing, is that something you've got to like almost hold yourself back from? You're like, I could kill them with all these things that they like, but I need to get this material out? Or you just go with what works, and that's, if you destroy it on that stuff, then you're good?
Personally, it's going to depend on the mood.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, yes, if I got an hour, for example, of, that's the thing that I wrote and everything and stuff. If we could play, let's play. You know what I mean? Then I'll go back to my material and stuff like that. But I got a set that I'm going through, just like a musician. He has a musician. They have a set list of different tunes they're going to go through.
Yeah.
But if there's something that weird that happens in the crowd, for example, David Grohl.
Mm-hmm. I know of the name
of Korn, whatever. He used to be in Nirvana, and anyway, he it's not Korn. He had anyways, David Grohl. He has a song, right? He has a band, and at some point, he points out a kid. He has a set list, but he points out a kid that has I want to play guitar with you. All right, man. Let's try that.
No way.
Let's try that. So the kid's up song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Kiss Face. You can look it up on YouTube. He named him Kiss Face because for some reason he had the face of a member of Kiss. Okay. And he's like, all right, get on the stage. And he got on stage. He gave him his guitar, and they performed Monkey Wrench, one of their songs, perfectly.
Oh shit.
That was not part of the set.
True.
That was not somebody.
But they got it.
You know what? Let's just go. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that for a second. You have a little interaction, a little fun interaction. You use it. You do whatever you got to do, and then you move on to something else.
Yeah, because I was saying, we were talking about this last night with the dance stuff, that like I was saying because the crowd. I mean, we can talk more about the Montreal dance scene, but like compared to Europe and especially London, the crowds are way more like alive, and I think one of the
UK is more alive.
No, here. Way more. Because I mean, I think British people are like, in general, quite reserved. So it's like they're not used to like screaming and shouting their approval. Yeah. It might be the best thing they ever saw, but they'll be like,
I call that a nutcracker audience. Yeah. They enjoy the show, but they'll let you know after.
Yeah. Like the crowd will explode at the end, but during the battle, they're not going to be shouting and screaming. So it's a bit of a weird thing for people that come over to battle in London or Paris. Paris is a little bit like that, but I think different reasons. But my point was, in here, even from seeing the hip hop and the breaking already, I feel like the danger is like you can get so much like, oh, I want the crowd to scream, and I can get them to scream, but actually the judges are still watching. So you're making the crowd scream, but it's kind of, you're not focusing on the good shit that you're supposed to do to get the win. You know what I mean?
That's none of my business.
But I guess that's true. But in comedy, there's no judges. It's just the crowd. So that is what you're...
The crowd is the crowd and the judge.
Yeah. So you can focus on what they want.
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, that's where it differs from dancing, is that in dancing, you got to stay focused. You got two people to balance. The crowd is one thing, but I'm battling this guy in front of me. I got to please the crowd, but I also have to please the judges. And sometimes you have to make, and battle the dude or the girl. Sometimes you have to make the decision of what you're doing. It's a balance of all those things. Yeah. The judges, I'd say once you pass the prelims, don't dance for the judges. Battle, but don't look at right. Don't focus so much on the judges. Just make sure that you're grooving, that you're dancing or whatever. And at the end of the day, you can do all those things and it still might not end you getting the win, even though you were better than the other person. There's humans dancing, judging, so...
Yeah, true. And this is the other thing I'm interested with comedy, is like, do you have like... do you kind of break down like what's the science of what makes things funny? Like psychologically?
Yeah, I have to ask myself that question.
What do you have I mean, if you're okay to share it, like what's your answer to that?
Oh, it's
a whole philosophy.
It's complex. The thing that makes comedy is really a question of timing. Mm-hmm. And not just timing into your timing of how you say things. There's that. But also with a situation. Remember, when you say something and you're like, oh shit, too soon? That's timing. Your timing was off. You were a little bit too
quick
for that thing, because the joke is so close to people. When, how can I say it? Comedy is just like a drunk uncle at Christmas. It's funny until it touches you.
Nice.
Okay?
That's true, yeah.
He's funny until, it's not funny no more.
Yeah.
See, if you walk down the street, if I walk down the street and then I see an old lady falling down, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to help her, but I'm going to laugh. If I see my grandma...
It's different.
...fall down, I'm still going to laugh because I'm that type of person. But most people won't. They're going to be like, don't laugh at my grandma. That's my grandma, dog. Yeah. Nah, but she felt a little funny. And she made that little noise, look like a little puppet. That's funny. That's funny to me. That's funny. Okay?
Yeah.
But because it's close to the people, they don't want to laugh.
Right, I hear that.
Well, take yourself out of the equation, and it's a funny situation. And
so it's even like with the topics, is like, okay, is that topic funny yet? Or when will it be funny? Or is it too far away, or that type of thing?
How much chances do I have of people being offended? Am I willing to take that risk? So a lot of times, and it's also the angle that you're going to take. There's a lot of things that there's a lot of offensive stuff that people are going to say, but because they had the right angle, and one of my favorite comedians that is really good for that is Andrew Schulz.
He's actually how I found you guys.
He's what?
How I found you guys in the pandemic. Because I was I can't remember how I found him on YouTube, but I started watching Flagrant beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
I missed 2 episodes.
Right.
In like 4 or 5 years now. It's like my religion. I'm like every week I'm watching Flagrant.
Yeah.
And then I think ABBA was on the first one.
ABBA was on the first one, then I came along with ABBA, and then he went back.
You know what's funny? I'm watching ABBA on that episode, and Jenny walked in the room, and so I had started watching you guys from that, but I'm watching this episode, and she walks in and she's like, "Oh, I know him." And then no, I think it was the one with 2 of you. Sorry, it was the one with 2. And she just walks in and she's like, "Oh, I know them." And I said, "What? What do you mean you know them? Like, I thought you watch them." And she's like, I'm in a working crew with that guy.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I didn't even know, at that point, I didn't even know you guys were from Montreal.
Oh,
so
yeah.
she was like, they're both from Montreal, they're in the dance scene, and I'm in a whacking crew with him. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how random. Like,
that's weird.
Yeah.
Super Twilight that you're all over there in the UK watching something from the States, and you got this 2 dudes from Montreal. That's your girl.
And it's so weird that, like, I found you guys not from Jenny. Like, it's not like she said, she hadn't mentioned you guys' content before. I don't even know if she probably knew, but I don't know if she watched it.
She knew, but I don't think she really watches it like that.
She's not a YouTuber like me. Like, exactly. I live on YouTube. But so then she was like, I know those guys. Yeah. That was so weird.
That's weird, but a lot of my friends are saying, yo, people that we do not know, that we don't have any contact with, I don't know, like, they don't know you, and it's like, I see them watching your stuff.
But that's like, real organic growth, man.
My cousins from the States are like, oh, you got to watch these 2 dudes. It's like, that's my baby cousin. Stop playing.
That's
like,
crazy.
Stop playing. I know this kid.
Crazy.
All right? I changed his diapers. Stop playing with me. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sorry, but you were saying about Schulz. Yeah, about the topics.
He's able to have the angle where you want to be mad, but you can't. Because he made you laugh before you were mad, and you were like, fuck, I'm guilty. Shit. I was not supposed to laugh at that. He's got the proper way of doing that. So it's really a question of angle. I think you can laugh at anything, just how you're going to bring it in.
How does someone like Schulz have that angle? Like, do you look at it as a comedian and go, obviously I'm not going to take his way of doing things, but maybe I can take his way of finding that angle or something.
There's that. You could try. But the thing is that his brain. So this is what happened with Schulz, is that in 2019, we had a show outside right here, Place des Arts, and it was a bilingual show.
Okay.
And we wanted to invite someone from the States, and I was up and coming, and ABBA was like, proposed, yo, let's invite Andrew Schulz. And I'm like, oh, word? Let's go. He comes on. Thought it was going to be about 1,500 people. There was 28,000 people outside. So he sees the people, and he's like, who the fuck are you?
Who?
Andrew's like, who are you guys to bring... Why? And they're like, oh, we got this little thing on social media, on YouTube, and then pandemic happens, and he starts watching our stuff, and he's like, and we connect back and forth. Ever since then, we connected. At some point, he has a show in Montreal, and I have another one of my buddies. He has a podcast. I'm like, yo, Andrew he's supposed to do our podcast, and then I can bring him to yours after. He does that, and I watch his podcast that he does with my friend, my homie, which is the most watched podcast, the Francophone podcast. Okay. But he did it in English for this time, right? And I'm watching Andrew answering those questions. And his brain is so quick. Yeah, there's a technique to what he does, but it's more than that. Is how quick he is. The wit of this guy is unmatched. Unmatched. This guy's a genius to me. Okay? And that's that. So you could try to apply the technique that he has, but there's something about his brain.
It's just different.
You're going to say artistic. I say autistic. Okay? There's something about his brain that functions so quick that's what makes that And he's knowledgeable about
A lot of everything.
about a lot of cultures,
Yeah.
a lot of people, a lot of different things. So you have to have an interest in people.
I guess that's the thing you were saying earlier, like we were saying, okay, if they're laughing about the dating thing, you can go in. It seems like when he does crowd work or something, he's like, where you from or whatever, what's your culture? They're like, oh, I'm Sikh. And he's like, oh, I got something for that.
Yes.
He's like this, I've got something. And the more niche it is, the more surprising it is that he's got something for that.
And the reason it works, where he's able to do something, say things that are offensive, but people think it's really funny, is that he doesn't do it out of ignorance. Mm-hmm. He does it as a, no, I know exactly that. Your group hates that group, so I'm going to make fun of that. And it's not me. I'm not the bad guy. I'm pointing out that you guys hate that group.
Yeah.
I know you do. I'm going to tell you why. It's because you are at war with that group since that he knows that.
And I think it's not making fun of people that's offensive, even like in a racial or a cultural way. It's not the making fun that's offensive. It's the ignorance. It's like you're making fun of me based on something that's not true.
Yeah.
But when it's fucking true,
it's like, on the money. It's like, it's almost the things that he knows about people. It's almost like you only had to be part of that group, which we know you're not part of. You have to be part of that group to know that specific, because nobody cares about that element.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So that's the reason why it gets people to be like, oh my God, that's crazy that you're able to have that angle, because people just only go in surface. You know the reason why that's funny. He knows the etymology and the history of your people and why that's funny.
Yeah.
So it's more than just like a formula. It's knowledge.
Yeah, and you've got to be ready
wit.
It's, if I make a parallel with dance, it's almost like somebody that's a connoisseur of music. And it's like, no matter what beat you play me, not only am I going to be able to dance to it, I'm going to do the stuff. Like, it's like some things yesterday where it's like, this is a Chicago footwork stuff. I've got some moves for that.
Yes.
I've got them boom bap. I've got some old school hip hop. Like, I've got all the styles to go with all the music.
It's comedy is if you enter an all-style battle. But you know a lot of style. But not only that, you play bass, you play drums,
so you
play
understand,
guitar,
yeah.
You play piano, you play all these elements. So you're able to, I'm gonna highlight an instrument that you didn't even know was there, but it's there. You heard it, but you went over it. Let me highlight that, so he's gonna bring that. I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna touch a little bit of that style and that style and that style. That person is crazy.
Yeah.
Diversity. Again.
Diversity of like thinking.
If you have a dancer that's also a musician, that's also
like a beat maker, a performer, like game over.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's a long day.
It's a long fucking day at work.
For real.
Diversity.
So, just on a selfish note, because I've been way more interested in podcasts since I've started doing one, of course.
Yeah, that's fine.
But like, because you've done like pods with people, so you're saying how witty he is and stuff like that, and you've done like pods and hosted with him.
Yeah.
It's different than like watching a comedy show, because I just have to laugh, and if it's crowd work, I just answer the questions and let him do his thing. Podcast, you kind of have to both bounce off each other.
Yeah.
So it's like a different comedy muscle, no?
Yeah.
Okay. How is that?
It's something different. It's just like people that do choreos are not necessarily good at battles, or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are not necessarily going to be good at teaching.
Just
following a choreo and teaching a choreo, two different muscles.
True.
Entering a battle, judging a battle, different muscles. Dancing, nonetheless, different muscles. So the podcast is a different, or the live thing, the what we're just gonna freestyle. That's what it is. Crowd work is freestyle.
Sure. Yeah.
A podcast is a sort of freestyle, but in a setting, right? So that's a different muscle, definitely. So it's something that you have to work out. I gotta admit to you, when I did this podcast with Abba, I know how quick-witted he is. I was like, I don't even know I'm going to be able to measure up. Oh, yeah.
That's interesting, because it didn't come across. Like, obviously, you're a performer. But
I shut the fuck up and I poker face that shit. But inside,
But there's a lot of people too, as well. Like also with you and ABBA, then there's another 4 of them, and it's like everybody's throwing.
So I'm like, oh, am I even gonna be able to make this? Like,
Wow.
these guys. So, like on top of that is that it wasn't during the pandemic. We were closed here. They were open. They had more shows. It was not that open, but he was able to travel and do his thing. So I was like, oh.
They're also more in practice.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, I'm rusty. You understand? So yeah, I was like, oof.
Hey, that's good to know that you felt that. Like,
yo, I felt that when I did the Tiger Belly.
Oh yeah.
Cause Bobby Lee's a weirdo.
But true. But that's more of an interview style, no? Like Flagrant, I feel like is everybody's chatting.
Yeah. There's Bobby. There's the co-host.
Yeah.
Kay.
Yeah.
There's 2 other guys.
True.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Bobby is already weird from just to. So I was like,
how is this gonna go?
All right. Here goes nothing.
But do you see that as like almost like a comedy training? You're like, if I can do this, no crowd's gonna shake me.
It's kind of a training.
Yeah.
It's different kind of training. Crowds can still try to fuck with you or whatever, or test you or anything and stuff. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And every scene that I go, like right now we're gonna try to go to the U.S. I'm not gonna try to go by the front door. I'm a YouTuber with 2 million subscribers. Shut up.
You want to kind of grind your way up.
I'm old school and I pay my dues, so I'm gonna go open mic after open mic. And if you think I'm good, then I'd rather people not know that I have, or they know later.
Yeah.
So they don't book me to, we're going to get a crowd. Like, he could get a crowd. Book me because I'm funny.
Yeah.
I hope they book me because I'm funny.
For sure. And I guess there must be or maybe not actually based on the story you told me earlier, but like because you guys are on how much on YouTube? Like 2 million something?
2,140,000, 50 something.
So, but like, I guess in terms of comedy, like tickets sold, they're not like people that are like, oh, they've got 2 million followers or subscribers. We're going to get 2 million people at the show. It doesn't really equal to that. Like,
but for people that are not from the States, like we did a visa for 1 year. And we did 3 shows. We did Pittsburgh, Washington, and Detroit. So Pittsburgh was, I believe...
I think I remember that when you said you were doing a tour.
Exactly. Yeah. So I believe Pittsburgh was 200-ish people sold out. Washington was 600 place, sold out.
Damn.
And Detroit was 300, sold out. So
we'll take it.
and that's mid to low for our crowd. Okay. Those cities are not the ones that watch us the most. They're mid to low subscribers. So.
And when you do...
It's not 2 million, but we can fill a room of...
Yeah. Hell yeah. But when you do shows with ABBA, are you doing together or are you doing set?
What happened is that I go on first.
Yeah.
I just say what's up to the crowd. You know, I introduce what's going on. I talk to them. I do a bit of comedy. Then after that, I introduce the opener because usually we have an opener. We introduce that person. They do their set. Then I come back, chit chat with them a bit, introduce ABBA. Then both of us come back at the end. We talk, we have questions, and then we do. So it's kind of a comedy thing where we shoot the shit with them. And then after that, it's pretty much it. And we do meet and greet if we have to.
Nice.
It's pretty much the format that we have.
And I guess also with the podcasting, you're kind of getting practice doing the content with ABBA, right? Because that's bouncing off each other, talking about stuff.
Because we're bouncing on each other.
Making jokes.
Yeah, making jokes. On the stage, we just don't have any reactions. The reactions are very delayed. They are when we post the video, right?
And YouTube commenters are always the grumpiest of people.
But when we're on the YouTube, we get saved by editing.
Oh yeah, that joke was whack. Take it out.
Whereas on live, whenever there's a dead moment or whatever, we take that out, or something that will repeat itself. Take that on live.
Gotta do it.
It's funny. It's funny because one of the first shows we did was in Pittsburgh, and there was one person from the Red Pill community that is not a fan of us, and he said, "Let me just book a ticket to their show," and he did a review, and he was pleasantly surprised.
Oh, really?
Like, I gotta admit,
they're decent.
These dudes are actually funny. He said it. So I was like, that's all I need to see.
Yeah. If you
I went to see his video, and I was like, all right, at least, I was like, I don't agree with what you're saying, but you're not lying.
Yeah, then you say you can take it.
So I'm like...
Yeah, fair. Fair.
You're fair, so you can say whatever the hell you want. I'm cool.
And I have a question about the YouTube shit
go
as
ahead.
well, just because, like, again, for people at home, I watch a lot of their content. I don't know if I made that clear. No, first of all, yeah, big fan of you guys' stuff. One thing I love is, like, also, I don't know if it's because I've done podcasts now that I have this mentality, but it's like, I don't have to agree with everything you guys say, but it's entertaining to hear your thoughts on it. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
We don't necessarily want people to agree. When someone is like, I agree with everything you say 100%, I'm like, that's weird.
Also, you got a lot of videos and a lot of different topics. I'm like...
Because I don't agree with everything I said. I go back on the videos and maybe my views change.
Yeah.
It's normal.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're more informed. Sometimes you go through experiences and you're like,
For sure.
no, I didn't see it like that. And this and that.
Especially over time, as you grow over years.
Yeah. You look at the first few videos that we did and, yo, it was harsh. You know what I mean? You know,
You're like, oh, damn.
it was what it was. Let me just, can I blow my nose?
Oh, yeah. Good for it, man.
But yeah, we don't. The point is not for people. You can still be a fan of someone. You can still be a fan of someone and not agree with everything that they say.
100%.
You can still be a friend with someone. And people are not used to that. They think your friend is supposed to agree with everything that you do and say. No,
I prefer having friends that will tell me if
they
disagree.
challenge you. That's
100%.
how you're able to grow and you'll be able to think about, okay, cool, I understand what you're thinking, but have you thought about that side? I haven't thought about it, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't agree with you that I don't understand.
Yeah. 100%.
Sometimes I can understand what you're saying, not agree because I think it's fucking stupid.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's okay.
100, and it's like we can still be friends after.
I say some fucking stupid things.
Yeah. And also, I guess, I think the thing that I think about you guys and YouTubers in general, even like Schulz or anyone that I watch, is like they're still making a form of entertainment. It's still a comedy. It's like there might be something that you're embellishing, you're pushing harder than you normally would, and like you might be going on a rant because you know we're fucking laughing at home. But it's like if I say to you in real life, how do you feel? Like, you're like, it wasn't that bad. You know,
it's not that bad.
You just like
on the moment I got a bit offended, but it's not.
Exactly.
Yeah. You have to understand it is entertainment and stuff. Especially we do it as a comedian. We still try. I'm not lying.
Faking.
I don't lie, but
throw a little sauce on it.
I'm just gonna I think this is ridiculous. Well, let me go. Well, this is ridiculous. I could have, I just changed the tone a bit, but I still think it's stupid, right? So that's it. Agree to disagree. That's good. When I first, but I'm not even talking about the YouTube. I'm like when I was talking with people, when I was arguing with people, I was trying to argue to change their mind.
Yeah. But
just argue to be heard. So I'm gonna say what I think once. I'm gonna say it again to make sure you understood. Did you understood what I said? Mm-hmm. We're good then.
Yeah.
Let's agree to disagree.
And if that didn't change your mind, it's
cool. Well, we'll disagree. Because whenever you do that, there's nothing else to say. Hey, I understood what you said. I just don't agree.
Yeah, 100%. And
cool.
You don't need the world to think in one way. Everybody's gonna have their opinions. Do you have? Because it happened to me on a really small scale, but I feel like for you guys maybe it's bigger. But like, do you have people that want to? I don't know, you see like friends that for coffee or something and they're like, you said that thing on the thing, like, I don't agree with that. And like, they want to talk about it and you're like, that was at work, like don't bring these subjects
sometimes
up.
I'm just gonna, that's okay. Like you didn't agree with it? All right, cool. If we got
or like they want to talk about something that you said on the YouTube thing, but you're like, I don't want to talk about that.
Of the time, no, I'm good with that.
Oh, okay.
But most of the time when that happens, they didn't hear what I said. They heard what the emotion was telling them.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't say that.
Right.
I didn't say, watch the video again.
But you get that, like people bringing stuff up.
It happens. Sometimes we get emails of people we don't even know.
Oh, for real?
There's a guy when Abba was saying, I don't remember what recent video, he was talking about, I think he was, Dr. Elam. One guy that was on the Pop the Balloon, it was pretty annoying.
Oh, yeah.
And then Abba said something in the lines of, he's going out there like preaching his thing like he's a Jehovah's Witness and being super annoying about it. And someone wrote her emails. I'd like to say, I agree with what you're saying, but just want to tell you that we do not force our religion on anybody. I'm like, I don't care.
Thanks.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
We don't force. Yeah, you don't have to. No, we're just gonna bring you the good news. Already there, you think you have the good news. That's a bit cocky of you to say. Like you think you hold the truth, bit cocky. You're not forcing it, but I mean, knocking on the door or arresting people in the streets, talking about we don't care about that. Yeah. And when we say we're not interested, you come back knocking on our door. I gotta answer my door with a towel on, and you never come back. I did that. That's how I know.
Good technique.
It works. Oh, Jehovah's Witness, strip naked, put a towel, and be like, "Hey, what's up? You good?" No, I got time.
You're like,
where you going? I got time. But if they email that, I'm not gonna answer.
But I was gonna say, you guys like answer. I know you have your on the comments you reply sometimes, but you're not replying to all those type of. I mean, it would take forever anyway, even if you wanted to.
That's not the job. I don't have to reply to you.
That's true. Like, you don't have to listen to the content.
I don't have to reply to you, and you don't have to listen to what we're saying ever.
Yeah, I hear that.
Please, if you unfollow, don't tell us.
Just do it.
We laugh at you. I'm unfollowed. Okay.
I think people get a bit too connected with the content sometimes. It's like, it's like it's a relationship that they have to break up from. It's like just unfollow or just don't listen.
Yes, I'm not your girl.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have to break up with me.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're breaking up with me. You're gonna miss my mom and her cooking. What
and also
doing?
it's like it's not a. I know that it's like it's not a one. It's not a two-way relationship. You know what I mean? It's like.
I just put stuff out there. You watch it. You don't. You don't. And the thing that happens is that when they do that, they want the underlying that is they want to make oh shit, I'm losing followers, so I'm gonna change the way I'm talking because I lost that person.
But then in doing that, you lose the other person, and
I can never fit everybody.
No. Yeah, it's
impossible. I can't do it.
Yeah. I do. Having said that, I do want to talk to you about the RayGun thing.
Go ahead.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dance podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
So can you just for the people that haven't seen your video, you guys' opinion on it was because you said about it last night, and I had spoke about it on the pod, so I feel like it's something I wanted to bring up because I had the opposite viewpoint to you guys. You boohoo, don't give a fuck, basically.
Boohoo, you don't give a fuck
about her, about her getting bullied and shit.
I don't think that people should necessarily bully her.
Okay.
They don't have to go out of their way to bully people. I don't think that you have to, because I think that people did the most, right? What I said, again, yesterday, of course. Jokes and shit like that, right? But in real, if we talk about it, and we sit down and we talk about it, I don't think that people should. I'm not going to encourage, if that person or whatever, whatnot, I'm going to go out of the way to write a comment or this and that. But I believe we live in a world where your actions have consequences.
Sure.
And you knew what the hell you was doing.
Sure.
And you want to represent b-boying, that's what you chose to do.
I hear that.
You think high of yourself, thinking that you are good.
But there was my only pushback is the qualifier is because someone said this to me, it's okay, if I won, this is my thing, what should she have done? Pulled out?
Yes, if she not participate 100%.
But what if the person that was second or third was worse?
Doesn't matter. I don't care.
Really? But
it would be the same thing for her too. What applies to one applies to everybody.
Yeah. No, but I mean, if you pull out, you're right, I'm not going to go to the Olympics because I'm not as good as the other 15.
If you pull out, you don't get.
If you
pull out, you don't get a retarded baby. That's what it was. That's what I believe it was. And again, people can disagree with me. It's fine, but you have to have some kind of self-awareness. Dancing is about self-awareness.
I hear it.
Okay? So there's some self-awareness that you don't have. You wanted to represent so much and be righteous. I'm going to represent my country and go over there. But I fucking rat pit on the... No!
But you would have pulled out.
Fuck yeah.
Really?
Actually, you know what?
I don't know if I would have pulled out.
That's you. That's on you. But there's some competition. I'm like, you know what?
But
I can't enter that competition.
No, I hear that.
I'm not there yet.
I hear that. But
I am gonna represent your whole ass country in b-boying. at the Olympics. What?
But in the sense of the continental, like, everybody has to be represented, it's like there's going to be some places that we know have a lower level. Like,
and they don't make it.
The European, but yeah.
Remember there was a guy that did the qualifiers of swimming and he almost drowned in the pool?
Yeah.
He could get the same flack.
Yeah.
You can't swim. This is a swimming competition. What are we doing?
But you think the people like that should have pulled out? Like the other athletes?
Do you think that the guy that almost drowned should have pulled out?
I mean, no.
Oh, now because it's a safety issue, he should have pulled out.
Yeah,
You're representing your country in swimming.
But to be honest, I don't know, maybe I'm like
that is
being
the
more
representation of your country. That means that if
your country sucks at swimming, then your country sucks at swimming.
But you shouldn't be competing then. You shouldn't qualify because that's not a competition for people that suck at whatever.
Yeah. All right, I hear you. But
anybody in ill abilities that did the Paralympics, would be better than her. Would have more.
Sure, but it is a high level competition, but it's also a competition of like, what would it look like if the world competed against each other?
It's even more than the Olympics.
Yeah.
It's also representing what b-boying is. It's shitting on the history of b-boying. That's what it is. You don't think? I think it is. I think it is. You're not respecting. Every time some people take something out of somewhere and calling it their own, they're calling appropriation.
Yeah.
Huh? When they misrepresent something and calling it their own,
but
this is what b-boy is. No, it's not.
I hear that.
You're shitting on it.
But so then is the issue that she wasn't good, or that the way because I think if she just wasn't good, that's one conversation. But because she tried to do some cute like stuff, that made it seem even sillier.
No, that was definitely ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if she didn't do that stuff and she was just bad and got smoked, because for example the other girl, Talash, she was in the pre-qualifier.
Yeah.
And she was the refugee team. She wasn't great.
She was horrible.
India took her out, right?
Thank you.
But because
thanks, India.
Yeah, because she wasn't doing anything like cute or like different, she didn't really get flack because it's like.
And on top of that, she was not cocky, because RayGun was cocky about it.
Yeah.
Yawning and shit.
Yeah.
Who the fuck? The only thing you got emulated from the b-boy was the attitude, not the moves, just the attitude. Yo. In b-boy, we call that being fake as fuck.
But then this is also the thing is like, you do that, you get smoked, which she did. So then it's like
at the Olympics, right there, you shouldn't be there.
But then I feel like you'd get the opposite. She goes there, she kind of is like, oh, amazing, like kind of humble and gets smoked, and you're like, yo, be confident, you're at the Olympics. It's like,
right, but you shouldn't be that confident with that set of skills.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that about a lot of dancers.
I run track. I used to run tracks.
Okay.
A lot of people in the Olympics, the standard is running under, like, they're under 10.
Yeah.
They want to get close to 9.
Yeah.
Am I going to even show up at the Olympics if I do 15?
But
15.
But who is it harming if you did? You know what I mean? Yeah, you had the back, but...
Because running is not a culture.
Okay. That's the part where
But b-boying is. And what I'm saying is that you're taking the whole ass culture and that's what you're representing. Now, there's not a lot of b-boys and b-girls in Australia.
Yeah.
Granted. All of them are better than that.
Yeah, that's the... Okay, this is what I said as well on the pod when we spoke about it. The thing that I do think is that Australia is different to Europe, because it's like if you have a qualifier in Paris next week, I can throw £150 to go to Paris. Yes. Easy, right? If there's one in Australia and they don't advertise it enough in time,
yes.
It's like, it's probably, I imagine, very hard to get a full representation of everyone, especially if it's in Australia or in Sydney.
So there's a problem with the qualifiers.
Yeah. Okay, in that sense, I agree, for sure. Yeah. But in the sense of saying...
And she's part of the organization of the qualifiers.
I think that wasn't true.
That she was not part of the committee?
I think so. I think that was not true. I think her husband being on it and her being part of the committee, I think her
husband, I'm not saying that her husband was a judge, but they were not anywhere, shape, or form part of it.
I could be wrong, but I think that they came out and it was like, because the Australian Break-In Federation made a statement and they said, unless they're lying, but they said,
No, I don't think they would lie.
She's not to do with anything. Like, we want to address the rumors, blah, blah, blah. I think
there's definitely something to be asked about the way it was done.
I hear that.
You understand what I'm saying?
For sure.
Because Australia is a wide, big place. And you want to set qualifiers for...
This is where I put the blame. Because I don't necessarily put the blame on her. In a way, I'm kind of like, I still think I would have gone, and maybe that would be my mistake as well, but I still think maybe I would have gone if I had won the qualifier. But, okay, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I think with the qualifiers, that's where I put the blame, because if you're going to organize a qualifier and say at the end of this qualifier, we're going to send someone to the Olympics, if I'm on that committee, I have to make sure I've considered everyone. I'd be like, even trying to get funding or like put in my own money to be like, all right, I know there's a fire b-boy from New Zealand. Can I pay for your flights to come? Because I need you in this qualifier. Then if you lose, that's on you. But I need everyone that's good at this thing. And if you don't, I think the committee should feel a way about not having done it.
The thing is, me thinking that she should have pulled out is one thing. Doesn't mean that she did anything wrong.
Fair.
She didn't do anything wrong.
It's just you would have made a different choice.
She performed in the best of what she could do. If I perform an open heart surgery right now, and they let me perform an open heart surgery right now, to the best of my knowledge, I'm killing a motherfucker.
Yeah. True.
I did nothing wrong. They let me perform.
Yeah. I hear that.
Okay.
That's kind of how.
They say, hey, you got to save someone's life. Okay.
Yeah.
And I killed the person. Yeah. I didn't do nothing wrong, but I put my face out there. There's going to be a flag.
I hear that. And I do think it's a shame, but like you said, because breaking is a culture, and I do think that's the biggest shame of it all, is that everybody's focused on that, and that's the impression of breaking a lot of people have, when it's like you got like Phil and fucking Victor and all of those guys, and it's like, it is a shame that it's being taken the focus away from.
Yeah, it took the focus out of Cece. That's a wonderful B girl from France. It took out all the B girls that were there that was actually performing. It took the focus out of all of them.
Yeah.
So it fucked up the culture. It fucked up the event.
Yeah.
It fucked up the country. It fucked up the people that really perform well.
I think we pretty much agree on everything. The only difference is I would first, well, maybe the same as that and that as well, but I would first blame the organization.
Yep, we agree on that.
Yeah, I think
we're agreeing on that. But her being the face of what she did and being there, maybe it's the fact that I expose myself for a living out there in the social media, and I'm under the scrutiny of everybody. And if anybody that got a thing to say, will say it. Mm-hmm. The most dirtiest, nasty shit, the low blows, it's gonna be that on the web. And I'm like,
you got to take it.
It comes with it.
So you're not so much like sympathetic to the shit she's getting because you're like, welcome to being well known.
Have a seat. Have a seat, Ray. We can talk about that shit. The thing that people say, you see it in the comments.
Yeah.
You see it in the comments all the time. Things that people make up stories of things that I haven't said or whatever all the time. And I'm like, I guess this is life. When you put yourself out there, should it be like that? It shouldn't be like that. Yeah. But I don't live in a utopia. I live in the real world where it is like that.
Yeah.
And you got to prepare yourself like that. You know, the things like that. It's unfortunate, but it happens. So I'm not proning and being like, you know what? Yes, bully her, make her suffer. Ha ha. Yeah. She don't get to live. No. But I'm like.
But if you ask me my opinion,
you did that. And you got that in return, to me it's like, logic.
All right, I hear your point.
The ridiculousness of what you did, the silliness of what you did resulted in those comments. Of course. What is that?
I kind of see the vision, but it was silly.
Let's agree to sort of agree.
Yeah. we do well.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I see the vision with like, okay, you're trying to be different and stuff. It's just,
and I'm not even saying that I'm 100% right. I'm just saying that's really what I see.
Yeah,
and I could be dead wrong on all the points. But
yeah,
it's just like, I'm just like, yo, yeah, it'd be like that. You do some thing that people are gonna deem stupid, they're gonna look at you.
Yeah, I hear it. It's a fucking interesting situation that went down.
And it being the first time the b-boying is represented, and that's what happened. It's like, ugh.
That wasn't on my my bingo card of things to happen at the Olympics. I couldn't have predicted that if I tried.
Nah, exactly. And then people are like, yeah, it should never be in the Olympics. And I'm like, because of that?
You hear that, is his name Lord Jamar? You know that guy?
Rings a bell.
He's like an old school rapper.
Yeah,
you hear him talking
Lord
about
Jamar.
breaking?
Yeah.
You saw the clip?
No, I didn't see it.
Right. He just went viral. It's like, there's a great page. It's called Not Kid Guppy. He does like memes and stuff for breaking, but he posted it. And it's like him being like, he was like, I think he's on a pod or something, like breakdancing shouldn't be in the Olympics. Like, why are we holding on to that whack shit? Like, who even does that? Like, and people were like cooking him in the comments. But yeah, he was just like.
But it's not because you're OG that you're right.
That's true.
I see them dancing all the time. It's like, it's not because you're OG that. It's not because you're OG that I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bow out to everything you do. You're a human being.
Yeah.
I'm gonna appreciate it what you brought, but when you're gonna fuck up, you're held accountable for what you did to me. You're a human being.
I'm with you.
You're not
I think
God.
we need a bit more of that. I think there's a little bit of like people want to find heroes or like find people to worship in the dance scene. So it's like as soon as you're like, oh, this guy's an OG or he's from this time period or wherever, something happens in their brain where they just go, everything he says is right, and it's like,
my God, shut up.
Yeah, we still need to have a bit of critical
I remember
thinking.
I had like there was a clip that one OG posted about another OG.
Oh yeah.
Popping, and I was like, this ain't it.
Yeah.
And the
Like
person
it was positive or negative there?
Negative.
Their one was
I was
negative.
like, yo, that get down was trash. It's like, well, you're too hard on them. Like, you don't understand what it takes to pop at that. Yeah, I do understand what it takes to pop at that age. And it's not it. Because I can compare it to other people that is his age, and they kept on going. They never let go. And that's the standard. So now I can't be like, yeah, you're doing great. Oh my God, I was so good. A person that do on the dance floor. Come on now, B.
Yeah, but it's hard to, because you want to respect the contribution, you want to respect how long they've been around, but you can do that without blowing smoke up their ass every time they do everything.
Yeah, I think that two can coexist. I could be like, I respect what you did, but what you're doing is not it.
Yeah,
I think both can coexist. It doesn't make you less of a legend of what you did in the past. You did what you did. I can never take that away from you. But please sit down.
Yeah, I hear that.
I'm not gonna give the OGs everything they deserve. I'm like, some people consider me an OG. I guess it's debatable, and I'm not. I don't think I am.
It's relative though, isn't it?
It's relative.
It's like it's like in Montreal, based on where you came in. It's like
not everything I do is great.
How did you? Because you're a whacker.
How did I think that not everything I do is great? Because I got mirrors home.
Yeah.
I see what the fuck I do. Shit.
No, I was gonna say, how did you get into whacking? Like, was that your first style?
No.
Oh,
first style was hip hop.
Okay.
Then I did the house.
Oh, okay.
Then I went to whacking.
And whacking was like the longest, because I've only heard, like, I spoke to Nene and Jen and people, like, they talk about you as a whacker. Like, that's what
it's because the character that I had in whacking, I took the way to build my character. I took all those cues from theater.
Oh, okay.
And the way I constructed the whole persona. And at some point, to be honest with you, I really would have wanted to win all those battles, but I was really battling just to perform. It was a whole performance.
And whacking is the style for that.
Yes, and I was just telling a story. And my stories were something else. So that's what I wanted to do. Like, people were on their toes. What is he going to do this year? What is he going to do, you know?
Like the making the spectacle of it.
Yeah, it was a spectacle. I love the spectacle, the acting in it.
Okay.
the storytelling of that. That's what I love into whacking. But the character was so big, so out there that that's pretty much what it was. And I love the acting aspect of it and the storytelling aspect of it.
Yeah,
right. That's why I got into it.
I feel like whacking and crump are like the two for that.
Yes.
I mean, Vogue is a whole different beast, I feel like, but
it's still, I think I would put Vogue in that too.
Yeah,
there is
but they have that whole culture for
yes,
the way they do
whole ass
things.
culture for that as well.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Yeah.
And that's what I yeah, the flamboyancy and the spectacle of the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about it, the acting of it. I couldn't act on TV, so I was like, let me act. I can't sing and I can't sing in real life, and I couldn't act as I can, but I couldn't act. So I was like, you know what, this is gonna be
my version.
This is gonna be my scene. This is gonna be my stage.
That's nice.
That's what it was.
And you know, I was watching because you guys were featured in the Joke documentary, which I thought was fucking cool. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, bro, it's good. It's so good, man. Because I was like, we were watching it, and like, I know bits of the Montreal scene. Like, I know some names, I know some history, obviously from Jenny, ATN, people like that. But I don't know like the full journey, and it's really interesting. Like, obviously, I know the history from the London scene and like from being a part of it. But to like come over here, knowing I'm coming for Joke 10th anniversary, and like see the documentary of like it was talking about like a bit of like how Monster and Venom started and stuff, and then how they would compete at Bust a Move, and how Bust a Move inspired Joke.
100%.
And what I thought was so cool is like, I was like, man, I'm more excited to go to the 10th anniversary knowing all this history, because I'm like, it's so sick to see like almost the legacy of something. Even if I'm stepping into for 3 days, but it's like, oh, this is like rich history.
Bust a Move was
crazy.
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah, ATN was saying as well.
100%. So Bust a Move was probably like the beginning of all that, and it's I gotta say it's the kid. Jolt is the kid of Bust a Move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Joe as well, because like watching the documentary, I was seeing all the people in it, and I was like, oh, it's cool that a lot of those people are still involved. You know what I mean? Like, you're hosting the hip hop and stuff like that, and it's like there's a lot of other people that I saw in the documentary, and I'm like, oh, they were at this, they were here. So it's like, yeah, it's really cool to like not only have the legacy behind it, but also keep the like you guys still around. Am I just seeing that from the outside perspective? Maybe I'm not seeing obviously the people who aren't here.
That's fine.
But do you feel like the scene here is pretty good at like the people that are from older generations stay around and support the next guys, or? Yeah,
they are when things are well done. Yeah, but when like you have to be vetted, right?
Okay.
So if you give respect to the OGs are gonna give respect to you, and they're gonna.
Right.
Stamp of approval on your event. So yeah, I've seen that whenever there's a new event, there's always the OGs are always there. They're always showing up, showing out, even participating.
Oh, cool. Now. And like with the dances and stuff, you guys feel like what's the kind of, because I guess you've been around for a while, so you've seen the different generations and stuff. Like, you feel like it's a pretty good like I don't know what the word is, like it's being passed along well.
It definitely changes, and I am old, so so of course, I critique some of the things in the younger generation. Of course, there's some things the wokeness of everything got me a bit. Oh, the wokeness of it all got
in the dancing.
Oh yes,
oh, okay.
yes. Not the woke. Yeah, the wokeness really bothered me in the scene where some people are gonna say, kids are gonna say some things they don't even know it's outrageous or outlandish to use. Like, I've been told by some people because I was not gay that I was a guest in the culture. Mind you, it's a white kid that said that to me, and I was like, I cannot do whacking because I'm not gay, but you're white and I'm black.
It's like, it's an interesting person to tell me this.
Wow. You really just think.
Right, I hear you.
It's like, there's nothing to reply to that.
But you know,
that's one example, but there's other example of things that I've heard, and I'm like, ugh.
I think that's so interesting, that topic, because it's like, I think in Europe, I was thinking about this the other day. In Europe, I think there's such a thing of like, okay, these styles come from the States and they come from Black American culture.
Yeah.
And even in Europe, no matter how it kind of is, you're supposed to respect that, right? Which I get, and totally fine. But it's like, how you do that is, I think, not up for debate, but it's like individualistic and stuff like that. But I think because it's the message of respecting the origins is so hammered in, as I think it should be, that people almost like police it in a way, like what you were saying. It's like that white kid has been told so many times, like, you know, look out for anyone that's, you know, appropriating the culture, blah, blah. He's like, then you're just firing at anyone, like, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, it depends where
heightened.
it depends where you go in Europe, of course.
Sure.
I've seen some people do being racist and twerk. I've seen some people.
Oh yeah, bro. There's some of those.
I've seen some people being homophobic and do whacking and voguing, which
wild.
It's just like whenever they do pole dancing and they remove the sex worker act of it, like the sex work aspect of pole dancing. No, it's a great workout. It started with sex work. You gotta come on now, B.
It's like gentrifying the
yes,
the shit.
100%. There's some.
It's like you're cleaning it up so then you can charge triple the amount for your classes, you know, and
yeah.
It's like no, it's
clean now.
It's a Starbucks pole.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's Starbucks pole. That's good.
Yes. All yours.
But yeah, they do that sometimes. I mean, there's, that's definitely annoying, but I mean, you know, what
are we gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
It's there. It's part of it. Yes, there's, if you can say in UK. Oh man, I was there because there was a war between the OGs from the States, and the people from France. I remember when Wanted Posse they were feuding with some of the OGs because the OGs of house were saying that they were not doing house. They were like, and the French dudes were saying it's like it comes from Africa, and that the Americans were like, nah, man, it's American, and it's like, shut the fuck up, both of you are right. It's like, shut the fuck up, both of you are right.
Agree to this.
You're not listening to one another. You're both right. But I understand why both of you, I understand what you're saying.
Why you both feel that way.
Why you both feel that way. But you're not, you both can coexist, actually. It was a big feud. It was like, and it was like the old school versus new school. And I was like, at some point it stopped. And I was caught in the middle of that and I hated that. Ugh.
Yeah.
But it was what it was. It was part of it. It was part of it.
Yeah.
It is part of it. Yeah.
But sorry, I took a side tangent. But you were saying about that was a transmit, like besides some of the new stuff being woke, like the way it's progressing is pretty good.
It's pretty good. Other than the woke stuff, it's pretty good. Some of them are hungry. They're pushing different barriers. They have a different way of seeing things. So it's good to see. It's good to see that.
Yeah.
Oh. Tout va bien. Doing her job.
Yeah.
So aside from that, they hungry. It's good to see. It's cool to see.
Yeah.
I can always be like, well, it's not like back in my days. We're not back in the days. Like it's like like.
And for them, this is their back in the day. You know what I mean? Like when they're in 20 years, they're gonna look at this.
There's a lot of things that we're saying. Oh, back in the days, it was better. It was actually trash.
Oh yeah. Because
we idolize. Yeah, we're biased, and we were there, so we thought it was really like come.
But sometimes I get in that. Sometimes I get in that thing because it's like, you know, be like, oh, I've been battling like 17 years. I've been doing, and like I teach, and I like the things I say is from what I've learned, you know, over the years, and I go back and look at some of my videos, and I'm like, oh, I fucking sucked. Like at the time, I was okay. But like compared to now,
Yeah, of course, because everything moved.
yeah, you can't.
I
you
look
remember
back at
how
old
biased
footage
you are.
and I'm like, oh no, it's not what I thought it was.
And then we're
It's
trying to
not-
tell the kids, like, oh, respect it. And then it's like, but they're also seeing us then. and
Yeah,
they're like,
this is like
that wasn't that impressive. Yeah.
that's kind of trash. Yes,
It's like-
but it was the beginning.
You
It
know
was
those
like
basketball players from like the 50s? And then you see like LeBron now and it's like some white guy with little
Yes.
shorts. Like,
yes, exactly.
like that-
It's just like
you were a legend for those days.
whenever you remember an old movie, you're like, yo, the Goonies, that was the bomb. You watch it again now
Yeah.
without the technology and the special effects. And you're like, oh.
I had that with the first Harry Potter. I was like, the CGI sucks. Like,
It's not.
He's on his broom and it's like the green screen. behind
Yes.
him.
You know what I mean?
But in my head, I was like, that first movie was sick.
the first one was this. No,
Yeah.
it was not. Well, it was.
It was, but it
For the
wasn't.
time.
Sure. It's like you need context for everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have like this idea of everything was better than it was not necessarily better.
Yeah.
Like, get your head out your ass.
And it's not to say we can't take the lessons from those days and like pass it on. And like we did learn a lot from that.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's, yeah, to be like, oh, the scene was better. I mean, like, let's say in London. I'm not necessarily one that's like, oh, it used to be better. But there are people that would say that. But it's like when I was doing hip hop in, let's say, like 2007, 8, 9, 10, there was like 10 hip hop dancers in the whole city. It's like it's like if there's enough to do a top 16, you'd be surprised. And it's like, and the ones that travel, there's like 5. I wasn't one of them at the beginning. And then now it's like you enter a prelim and it's like UK people alone.
Yeah.
Let's say London people alone, you can have 150 entrants and the top 16 will be solid. And it's like, how can you say it was better before? Like, look at these kids. Like, I'm not one of those top 16, but those kids that are there are fucking fire. And it's like
it's the same thing when I hear girls saying, "Oh, the dating was better before." No, it wasn't.
nowadays. I hate the word nowadays.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
You had to date Jimmy from church. You didn't have access to all those people. If you date with a guy that was, he was expecting you to,
Yeah.
Now come on now, better be.
Yeah, because it's like the girls that will share like the it's like an old American diner in the 50s with like they're
Yes.
sharing a milkshake. You're like, I want dates like this. It's like,
No, you don't.
I mean, that guy was probably racist.
Yes.
He was
Racist,
probably
rapey.
Yeah.
As fuck.
And it's like that. You're just like
That's what you
nostalgic.
want. I wasn't born in the right era. I wanted to be born in the 50s.
It's like you really didn't. I
Right?
don't
So
think.
where is my bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to talk about that?
Yeah, for real.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
Naive.
I'm a bit of a jackass because I went in a diner like that. There's a 50 teams.
Yeah.
And I asked for colored bathroom. They didn't like my joke.
Oh, for
But I thought it was hilarious.
That's what
Because
you said.
that's not you lack commitment.
Yeah.
That's what.
Commit to the era. I don't want you to be so polite to me.
You lack a little bit of commitment. But they didn't like my joke. But I don't care. I made it for me. But that's the thing, is like saying that it was better. No, you don't think it was better before. What you have is a severe case of nostalgia. That's what you have.
Yeah.
You idolize the back in the days like it was better, but it was not necessarily. There's some things that was definitely better,
For sure.
but not everything was better.
No. And I think that also feeds into what we were saying about the OG worship type of thing, where it's like, I find like, I don't know how you say it, but I was always under the impression and always taught like that the OG term was kind of earned. You don't just get it from being there.
Yeah, now you
before.
just have to be there.
Maybe the scene is different in Europe, but I sometimes feel there's people that just, it's like, are you an OG or were you just there?
Are you an OG or furniture?
That's a good
I think there's a
question.
difference between an OG and a furniture. You was furniture, my dude. You
Yeah.
was there.
Like if we were to time travel back to the era that you say you're from, does anybody know you? Or were you in the cipher or were you on the side watching?
Yeah, you was there, but you were furniture.
Yeah,
It's like you didn't do an active role, but to each their own.
for sure. And it's not to say you can't contribute as you get older.
That's not
Even
what
if
I'm
you didn't
saying.
before.
Yeah, you could be an archivist, like I have archives and stuff like that, but you were present. But if going to class is not just being present,
Yeah,
you have to actually do the work.
For sure.
to graduate.
Hey, yeah.
Shit, bars.
I won't take up too much of your time.
That's fine.
I could catch up with you for forever, and hopefully, if we're in the same city again, we can do this again.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be there like late September, so I'll give you a shot.
Sick, bro. And if you're doing, I mean, if you want to do anything while you're there, like if you need a cameraman for your comedy shit or anything.
No problem. It's probably not gonna be comedy. It's gonna be chilling.
Oh, just chilling?
Just chilling.
Cool. Then we'll grab food, whatever, hang out.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Thanks for having me in your city.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for coming.
And it's honestly, not only is it a pleasure to meet you, it's a pleasure to chat with you, debate shit, man. I've been like, yeah, just from watching this stuff, it's like part of the, I say this a lot on a lot of the pods, but I feel like even though you guys have heard it before, I need to say it to you, but it's like one of the biggest pleasures of doing this is like getting to sit down with people that I've either looked up to, watched, been inspired by. So I didn't know your dance as much, and I'm happy to like get to know it. But in terms of being a content creator, being a podcaster, like I've looked up to you and Abba. I've like been inspired by you guys. So it's an honor to sit down and chat with you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much, man.
Next time. And yeah, if you're here for him and you don't know about us, this is a capsule. We cover a lot of street dance news based in the UK, but worldwide work. So yeah, if you liked it, subscribe, leave us a comment. If you disagree with something he said, definitely leave a comment, and I'll make sure he reads them. Oh, he ain't gonna read shit. All right, peace guys, thanks.
Peace.